How's it going, everybody? I'm back. This is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. If you want legal advice and you want an attorney, go get yourself a competent attorney. Now, if I'm in any state where traffic citations are a civil matter, I'm gonna demand that I get the contract. I need evidence that there's a contract. I need evidence that their motor vehicle code of that state even applies to me. Show me where it applies to me. I have not consented to this. So therefore, if you have no evidence, then I motion to dismiss in the interest of justice. I move the court to dismiss this case in the interest of justice since there's lack of evidence. Now the officer is going to eventually be up there and be the witness and say whatever he wants, and that I was driving and I didn't put on my left turn signal, so therefore he concluded and realized that I was such a criminal he had to stop me by using his emergency lights when there was no emergency, and therefore giving me my citation or notice to appear or summons, whatever they want to call it. When in fact, an officer, from what I understand, can only stop me when he has probable cause to believe. This is why they never finished the rest. Well, everybody says the officer had probable cause. Probable cause to what? Probable cause for what? You morons. Finish the sentence. An officer can only stop you or arrest you when he has probable cause to believe you have committed or about to commit or are in the, I believe it's called commission of committing, or in the action, if you want to make it simple, or in the action of committing a crime. So if I'm in a state where it's a civil matter, this officer committed, in my opinion, and it's not legal advice because I'm not an attorney, false arrest, false imprisonment. He had no warrant for my arrest, especially since it's under the 4th Amendment. Alright, now that's an easy lawsuit right there, in my opinion. California's a little trickier, but nonetheless it's still doable. That's why I have this on my screen here, as you guys can see. But the point of this is that in the state of California, or in any state where they want to claim it's a crime, well, there has to be what's called a corpus delicti in California, which means a proof of loss, injury, or harm. So there has to be a proof of loss, proof of injury, and or proof of harm. So when I don't turn on my left blinker and the officer stops me, I committed a crime. Okay, fine. So is there a corpus delicti? Did I injure the officer? No. Is there proof of loss? Did the officer lose anything? Did I violate his rights? No. Well, then who's the victim here? Because in my opinion, if there's no victim, there's no crime. They'll say, well, the state of California is the victim. Well, I don't think so, because there's only an officer. You see, in the state of California, they made one mistake when they combined these courts, and I've been doing a lot of research on that. And it's that when they combined from municipal or even back then police courts into the Superior Court of California, they actually created problems for themselves. And the problems I'm going to point out right now, the problem number one would be that the officer, the citing officer, is only a witness. He can't be a prosecutor, he can't be the judge. However, in the state of California, from what I'm seeing in many different cities, there is no prosecutor, there's no city attorney, there's no district attorney, there's no kind of prosecutor assigned to the case, because they say, well, it's a special kind of crime. Well, I don't think so, because in the state of California it states clearly, 19.7 of the Penal Code, that misdemeanors shall be also, whatever is applied to the misdemeanor shall also be applied to infractions. And I believe there is a prosecutor in a misdemeanor, so therefore there should be one in the infraction. I'll let that out of the bag, but I could care less, because they gotten so far deep into this that I don't think they could even unwind it, even if they wanted to. Plus I have the evidence. Nonetheless, also, if anybody ever gets a citation, you always look at the top of your citation. It's going to say, for example, on my citation it says City of Glendale Police Department. It'll say California Highway Patrol. It'll say City of Long Beach. It'll say City of Long Beach Police Department. It'll say City of Huntington Park Police Department. It'll say whatever the hell it wants to say, but there's always some kind of police department. Well, if there's a police department there, the only way that it can get from that citation or notice to appear or summons, whatever you want to call it, when you go to court, what does it say on paper? It says people of the state of California versus you. Well, here's the million-dollar question. How does it get from the Glendale Police Department to the people of the state of California people of the state of California. Well, the answer is the only way you can even get there is when the district attorney, city attorney, or the prosecutor files what's called a complaint. Because the notice to appear, summons, or the citation is not a complaint. Now, they want to claim it is in every single state. Well, the citation is the complaint. Well, really, this is why I'm also accusing them in my motions of violating the Separation of Powers Act. Because if an officer is in the executive branch and he's supposedly the witness, how is he going to go and file this? I'm going to go with the flow. It's a complaint. Okay, fine. Now, how can this officer file a complaint with the judicial branch? It's a violation of separation of powers. And now I'm claiming that against the city of Glendale and their peace officers. Uh-oh. Now, there's a case that I read that said, well, there doesn't have to be a complaint, or I'm sorry, a district attorney. There has to be no prosecutor as long as the judge does not seem biased. Well, there's another problem in that, because now that I briefed that case, I know what questions to ask and what to attack. And not only that, but the guy didn't ask the right questions, and it's not even close to what I'm claiming or even saying that is unconstitutional. And I've already claimed this to be an unconstitutional act, and I'm going to try to change some law in California, which is why that judge stopped recording the proceedings, because he knew I was going to get copies of that. And guess what? It's even better, because now I'm going to claim that there's fraud being committed on the court. And that's not a good thing for them. But guess what? You know, the more they lie, the more lies they have to basically tell to cover up those basic lies. And it's funny because it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And before you know it, they're in such a deep hole, you could just kick the dirt on top of their heads and that's it. They're done. Case closed. Thanks for making the lawsuit from me. And basically I hadn't even proved anything because I didn't have to, because you guys did it all for me, showing how much of a fraud this is, how much of a simulation of legal process all of this crap is. It's an illusion and it's not real. Now, they can go ahead and say, well, you're guilty, and I could care less. I just do a void judgment, or judgment is set aside, or set aside void judgment, because there's case law saying that if it's not constitutional and they're not within their constitutional limitations, of course, then guess what? It's unconstitutional. Therefore, it's void. But people want to claim, well, you know, the Constitution doesn't apply, just because they don't know how to apply it. That's the only reason. You know, if you don't know your rights, you have no rights. I keep saying that. I will always keep saying that. That's why I will always keep researching. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And City of Glendale, I hope you guys get ready for me, because July 23rd is my day in court. So if you guys want to show up, all cops are welcome as well. You guys can see that what I'm arguing, and whether I'm right or wrong, you guys will see it. I have nothing to hide. This is why I make my videos. Nobody ever seems to want to put proof on the internet. This is why I claim these are probably undercover government agents doing what they're doing anyways, probably putting people in jail, because they have no cases to prove that whatever they're saying on the internet is even true. So I have nothing to hide. Everybody's welcome to the City of Glendale on July 23rd. I believe it's in the morning. Yeah, I don't know. So, but be there or be square. Nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and prepare some more arguments, and I'll be making more videos later. I've just been very busy, like I said, doing briefing federal cases and also some state cases. Getting ready to go where I told this commissioner I was going to go, which is federal court, and they gave me this stupid date for trial. I'm hoping these cops show up, and if they don't, I'm going to be very upset. I'll tell you that right now, because I want my damn answers. And I have a lot of questions, and they're going to be answering them one way or another. So you guys have a good one, and please always verify what anybody says, because in the end, you're the one that will end up in jail, nobody else.